JT Show.
What's going on, you sexy beasts, and welcome to another episode of the Smash JT Show, my weekly episodic adventure discussing divisive issues in the video game industry and beyond sometimes. It airs every Friday, and before I forget, make sure you hit that like button. If you like what you see here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell for notifications. Without further ado, let's just jump right into it. This week, I have to talk about what's going on with Blizzard and the Diablo series going to mobile, and how the internet, let's just say, hasn't reacted with a positive tone overall to this decision. Diablo Immortal has been announced coming exclusively to mobile devices. The internet raged hard. People at Blizzcon were pissed.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
No, it's a fully fledged Diablo experience on mobile.
No, it's not an April Fool's joke. It's actually happening and coming to mobile devices. A joint venture between Blizzard and NetEase, a Chinese mobile gaming company, have come together to work on this game and bring it to mobile devices. Yay! But this brings up an interesting point. Are video gamers entitled? And is entitlement a bad thing if they are? First off, handling are they entitled? In this instance, the overwhelming majority being pissed off about a game announcement that they didn't want, or that they were expecting something different and were just really let down by because they wanted Diablo 4 to be announced, but for whatever reason Diablo 4 wasn't ready and Blizzard didn't handle that situation, let's just say the best way possible from a PR standpoint. The whole entire conference fell flat, and really Blizzard and Activision coming together on this, it kind of gave them a black eye in the gaming community. People are not happy with the direction that they're taking the Diablo series. People who grew up on PC gaming, who love Diablo and everything that it stands for, now have to shift their focus to a completely different device if they want to continue playing the series. Some people would say that's not fair. A lot of people would say that's not the direction they wanted it to go. But my stance is, this is Blizzard's thing. It's their game. They can do whatever the hell they want to with it. And this is the same stance I take when it comes to microtransactions, when it comes to anything in the video game industry that people don't like. It's a really easy answer, and if everybody would just come together and believe in it and actually follow through on it, guess what? This stuff wouldn't happen. But here it is, once again, for those of you who might not have gotten it before. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And in the case of a free-to-play mobile game, if you don't like it, don't download it. Don't give them the time of day. Don't give them any hint that you actually want to see if this game is good or not. If that's how you feel about being pissed off about the Diablo series. But you can't have it both ways. You can't get pissed off at Blizzard and say, no, I don't want this game coming to mobile. I want it to come to PC. I want it to come to consoles because that's where I play these games. I don't want this great AAA series going the way of cheap free-to-play mobile games trying to squeeze money out of every gamer that doesn't know any better. No, that's not where I want my series to go. If that's how you feel about it, don't play it. Now, if you want to give the game a chance, see if it's something you might be interested in. Why are you complaining? This might be an opportunity to be able to play a game you love on the go. And now a lot of people might hear that and say, well, Diablo 3 just came out for the Switch. I could already play that on the go. You can, but not everybody brings their Nintendo Switch out with them everywhere they go on a daily basis, wherever they may be. Like a mobile phone that's always in your pocket. So, from the perspective of somebody who loves video games, and admittedly I'm not a big fan of mobile gaming, I see this as an opportunity to possibly bring in an entirely new audience and introduce them to a series that they're not familiar with, while giving people who enjoy Diablo another avenue to be able to play the game. People may not agree with this because they don't want the game to go mobile, and they're bitching and moaning about it and complaining because they're entitled. Not that that's a bad thing, but I mean, if you're telling a company, I don't want that, I want this, you screwed the pooch because you didn't give me what I wanted, you're kind of acting a little bit entitled. If you want the game so damn badly on the device that you want to be playing it on, and you want a sequel to Diablo 3, don't buy Immortal. Don't buy into the propaganda of what they're selling you on stage at BlizzCon as to why they think you could give this a chance. But then you're going to miss out on potentially an entertaining aspect of a game that gives you the ability to play it on the go. The same exact people who are bitching and moaning about this game going to mobile devices are most likely the people who will end up downloading the free-to-play version of it and possibly even enjoying their time with it. So I always find it funny when people kick and scream about how a company is running themselves into the ground and doing everything wrong and making all these terrible decisions, but then participate in perpetuating the problem by downloading the game afterwards. This is the problem that I'm seeing with the situation. That doesn't mean there's not another side to this, because with this show being unbiased, I like to take all angles into account. The other side of this is that gamers should get what they expect to get because they are buying into this company, they are spending money, they are spending time on their games, and in a way deserve that company's respect and loyalty to them because they're the ones that are making this company successful in the first place. And I definitely get that perspective. It makes plenty of sense when you look at it from that angle. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm looking at Blizzard and Activision. This is a gigantic AAA publisher that's publicly traded in the stock exchange. And I say, they're just in it for making money. And if I were in their position, I can't say I'd be doing anything much different than what they're doing right now. This is a calculated risk that they're taking. I think what happened with it blowing up in their face was a lot worse than what they could have anticipated, but I'm sure they were expecting a certain level of backlash bringing the game to mobile devices. They probably calculated out the risks of doing that, damaging their brand, and saying, it's worth it. Gamers will forget about this in a couple years when Diablo 4 comes out. And, oh, by the way, we'll make all our money in microtransactions. We'll be swimming in gold like Uncle Scrooge once this game actually debuts, and people will stop bitching about it. And honestly, from their perspective, it makes a lot of sense. And if I was in the boardroom with them during this decision-making process, based off the numbers with mobile gaming and how much they make based off of download content, microtransactions, and everything they add into all these games to squeeze every penny out of every gamer, I'd say let's take a shot at this because we got a good game series. The loot boxes and all the crates in Diablo series make a perfect fit with trying to put microtransactions into a mobile game. So, heck yeah, I'd be on board with this. As a gamer though, as far as entitlement is concerned, if you don't want the game, don't buy the game. If you want to give the game a chance, give the game a chance. It's really that simple. I don't understand why everyone's so pissed off about this. You didn't get what you wanted. Wah! Get over it. There are a million other games out there to play, and if you're pissed off at Blizzard and Activision going the route of making as much money as possible, go somewhere else. Speak with your wallet and stop complaining. At least that's how I feel about it. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this situation. Do you feel like Blizzard and Activision are justified in taking their series wherever they want to? Or should the gamers have the final say on what they do with the series? Be very interested to hear your thoughts on that. And from that, I want to go on to this week's smashing video of the week. And it comes to us from TARKS Gauntlet, a deep dive on the history of Square Enix.
To make sure this competition would get traffic and be taken seriously, Enix contacted many of the up-and-coming freeware programmers they saw in magazines, and with no shortage of coercion, they strong-armed them into taking part in the competition.
The way TARKS approached this reminded me a lot of how Norman Caruso does it, the guy from The Gaming Historian. Fantastic job from start to finish. Strongly advise you giving this one a chance. Even if you're not interested in what goes on with Square Enix nowadays, it's a fascinating history on how it got its start. And that's where I'm going to leave this week's episode. Again, I want to say thank you so much to every single Patreon who helps support the channel on a monthly basis with their pledge. If you're interested in joining them for as little as $1 a month, hit that Patreon link that just showed up in front of you right now. If you haven't already, you enjoy the content I'm making right now, hit that subscribe and the bell for notifications. And if you missed last week's episode, I'll put a link to it right there. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you stay sexy.